The night is dead quiet when Nate steps out of his brother's house. The dog gave a soft whine as he shut the door, but otherwise the world feels empty. No streetlights on this stretch. Just the warm, fading glow spilling from the porch behind him. His breath fogs in the air as he walks down the front path. The house sits back from the curb, and the yard feels wider, emptier, without his brother around. The only light ahead is the weak glint of his car parked at the edge of the street. He reaches for the driver's side door, then stops. No jingle. He pats his pockets. Back, front, jacket. Each empty pat sends a fresh wave of dread through his chest. He even checks the same pockets twice, as if the keys might have materialized since the first search. Nothing. The silence of the night seems to mock his growing panic, broken only by the distant hum of traffic and the rustle of bare tree branches overhead. A low groan escapes his throat as he leans down to peer inside the window, his forehead pressing against the cold glass. The keys are sitting there on the front seat like smug little gremlins, the metal catching what little moonlight filters down through the clouds. He can even see the house key dangling from the ring, taunting him. "Come on," he mutters. He tries each door, driver's side, passenger, back doors, trunk, all locked. "Shit, I can't believe this," he says, shaking his head in disgust. His fingers rake through his hair in frustration, leaving it standing in disheveled spikes. He stands in the dim wash of the house lights, staring at the car like it personally betrayed him. The vehicle sits there smugly, its pristine metal surfaces gleaming with cold indifference to his predicament. With a defeated breath, he turns and walks back toward the garage. Maybe there's something inside he can use. Wire, coat hanger, anything. His shoes crunch against loose gravel as he trudges up the driveway, mentally cataloguing the contents of his workbench and storage shelves. He's halfway across the yard when a voice slithers out from the shadows, oily and mocking. "Nice work, genius." Nate stops cold, every muscle tensing as adrenaline floods his system. He turns slowly, deliberately, like a man expecting the worst. Looks toward the sidewalk, scanning the cracked concrete. The street, where yellow streetlights cast pools of sickly illumination. The hedges, their branches swaying slightly in the evening breeze. Nothing but dark, oppressive, and absolute, seeming to pulse with malevolent possibility. Nate squints toward the shadows. "Who said that?" No answer. He rubs his arms and keeps walking. He spins again. Still nothing. The voice is light, amused, like someone watching a clumsy game. "Seriously, you checked all the doors like it was going to change something." "Okay, very funny," Nate says, louder now. "Who is this? Brian? You home early?" Nate stiffens. "Brian, you messing with me?" The voice laughs, a high, lilting sound that sends chills down Nate's spine. Definitely not Brian's deep, familiar chuckle. He jams the tool into the seal of the window with trembling fingers, the metal scraping against paint. Carefully starts fishing around the latch, trying to keep his movements steady despite the prickling sensation of being watched. "I mean, you're not very good at this, are you?" The voice drips with condescension, each word falling like drops of acid. "Don't you have anything better to do, man?" Nate spits back, his knuckles whitening around the tool's handle. "Maybe if you focused half as much as you sulk, you'd be inside already." The words dance through the darkness, mocking and precise. Nate glances up, sweat beading on his forehead despite the cool night air. Still nothing. Just black hedges and an empty street, the shadows seeming to twist and writhe beneath the weak glow of distant streetlights. "You always give up this fast?" the voice says, closer now, almost intimate. No wonder she left. The last words slice through the night like a razor, finding their mark with surgical precision. His hands freeze. "What did you say?" "You heard me. She got tired of you always fumbling around in the dark. And look at you, still here, still fumbling." The words drip with honey-coated venom, each syllable calculated to wound. He slams the rod in harder, his knuckles white against the metal. It slips between trembling fingers, clangs against the lock with a hollow sound that echoes through the empty street. Useless, 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 the voice taunts, a twisted lullaby floating on the night air. Try harder, little man. Pretend you matter. Each taunt lands like a physical blow, making his shoulders hunch inward against the assault. Nate's breath quickens. He turns a slow circle, peering into the black. "Come out, you coward," he calls into the darkness, hating how his voice wavers. A pause stretches like elastic about to snap. Then, "You want me out there with you?" the voice asks, and now it's closer. Low, cold as winter frost. The words seem to circle him, impossible to pinpoint their source. Because I could be. Right. There. Each word punctuated by what might be footsteps, might be Nate's hammering heart. Nate steps back for a second, sweat trickling down his neck, then turns back to the car with forced bravado. "Is this what you do for fun? You need a new hobby, dude," he says, trying to steady his trembling hands. "You know what I like about you, Nate," the voice continues, drifting somewhere to his left now. "You crack so easily. Just a few little taps, leaves rustle, gravel shifts. I bet if I pushed just a little harder, I could get you to cry, maybe beg. How about it, Nate?" The porch light flickers. He slams the wrench down on the gravel, with enough force to make his palms sting, heart pounding so hard he can barely catch his breath. "That's enough," Nate spat, his voice cracking with a mixture of fear and rage. And then, thunk. The keys land on the hood of the car with a metallic clatter, glinting dully in the flickering porch light. Tossed. From the dark. Nate doesn't move. The voice taunts menacingly one last time, now just above a whisper, but right behind him. "Can you get in before I can get to you?" The porch light dies, and something moves. Hope you enjoyed our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the void.